Okay, welcome to practice. Admittedly, I have about 5 different ideas for what I wanted to share in class today, and I have to dial that back to just one of them. And so I've been working this week with the mantra, I honor how I want to feel. And that was coming to me this morning by ways of not letting the stories that I tell about myself or on the yoga mat, we'll relate it here, to the poses themselves. Like, we all have been doing this practice for some length of time. Some of us for a few months, some of us for a few years, all different lengths of time. And I certainly have thoughts and feelings about triangle pose, about what I can do with crow pose, or hey, I don't do inversions right now. And I have all of these stories that in some ways make me feel a certain way, good or bad, about the practice as a whole. And I was like, I'm not here for that. I need to stop doing that a little bit. And so today I want to challenge us all. One of the Buddhist practices is to come at things with a beginner's mind, with less preconceptions about how you feel about the poses, and let the movement in the present moment honor and transfer in just how you're feeling today. And it doesn't need to be the story about how you'll feel tomorrow, the next week. Bring yourself into the beginner's mind through this practice. If you haven't already, turn your gaze down low or close the eyes. Take in a few breaths. Nice full inhale, nice full exhale. Strip down to just the breath, just the space for practice. And add in some shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. Change to forward shoulder rolls. And then shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Get nice and long through the sides of the waistline. Try to relax the shoulders, but keep the extra length in the body. Reach your right arm out to the side. Take the left arm overhead. And look up. Bodhi's asking to play this morning. Okay, and then take it over to the second side. Reach the left hand out. And then the right arm up and over. Look up towards the sky. Come back to your neutral point and take yourself to all fours. Place the hands under the shoulders and the knees right underneath the line of the hips. Sunday's practice, I had Luna down here throwing things at me. Now we get Bodhi throwing things at me. We'll make it through. No big deal. Cat and cow here. Every inhale, pull the chest forward and through, eyes and tailbone to the sky. The exhale, press down through the hands and knees, round your back and drop the head. Just let it open up. Downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Pedal out the feet. Blow the air out. And then look towards your hands and slowly walk up to the front of the mat. Ragdoll pose. Hang the upper body over. Hold on to the elbows. Sway a little bit from side to side. Roll up to standing. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then here, as you stand at the top of the mat, be absolutely full. They say that I'm not sure who they is, but mountain pose is the pose that really holds every single other asana. Be balanced, be full right here. And you've got everything else in the bag too. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Extend from the hips out to the crown of the head. And step back to plank. Top of your push-up. Stay right here. Squeeze the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the abdomen, look a little bit forward rather than down. Press through your thumb and your first finger a lot. And then isometrically pull your hands apart from one another, meaning movement without the actual movement. And then the same, pull the heel of your hand back towards your toes. That one always gets me right in that low belly. Feel it? And lower it all the way down to the mat. One thing I know I like to feel is strong, and that little pull of the heels of the hands back make me feel strong and engaged. Palms behind you, turn the palms up towards the sky and lift everything that you can up away from the mat. Lower it all the way down, press back to child's pose. And then walk both hands over to the right side. Stretch from your left fingertips and pull back towards the left hip. Great, walk the hands across the center, over to the second direction. Reach out to the right fingertips, but pull back on the right hip. And then walk back into the middle, change to downward facing dog. Look forward to your hands and step or jump to the front end of your yoga mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center the chest. Do this a couple more times. Surya Namaskar A, so we'll take out some of the extras. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. Return to downward facing dog. Breathe right here. And then look in between the hands and step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Lift up, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Do it one more time. Inhale, lift. Create this full, lovely rhythm. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down. Peel the chest up for cobra. Downward facing dog. Look to the hands, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Pause for a moment, a couple of breaths. We'll add in a little bit more into Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Chair pose, extend the arms, look just past the fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank and hold. So again, we're slowing things down this first round of Surya Namaskar B. Feel that grip, press down through the thumb, the first finger, as if you're pulling the arms away from each other. But then simultaneously, heels of the hands drag back towards your toes, activating mid to low abdomen. Stay with it, breathe. And then lower flat down to the mat. Reach the hands back, either open or clasped behind the back, and lift everything that you can up. Change to child's pose. Take just a few moments and a few breaths here. One of the reasons that I've been thinking about those stories so often that we hear from outside and that we tell ourselves is looking at the Olympics, the elite athletes, of course, the story of Simone Biles. How hard it must be to change those stories. Make the choices that are best for you. And we just have to do it on this little yoga mat. Downward facing dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Step the right foot forward in between the hands. Keep the back heel lifted, come up, high lunge. Steady yourself. Have the feet hip distance apart, square off the hips. Look straight ahead. And then lower the hands back down, step back to plank. Find your strength. Is that the hold of plank or adding in a push-up today? How do you want to feel? Down dog. And then step the left foot forward. Come on up to high lunge. Come on up, and yet there's no time. You can take a couple of breaths here. We're not going speedy right now. Now lower the hands back down. Again, step back to plank. Hold your plank or add tricep push-up down and up. And then everyone down dog. Look forward to your hands. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. More vertical in the upper body. Sit only as low in the legs as that allows. And then stand back up. Palms together, center of the chest. Bodhi, back for another round. Let's all go Surya Namaskar B together again. Chair pose. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower it down to the mat. This time, bend both knees, inner edges of the feet together, hands behind the head, and lift up. each stage a little progressively more difficult in the belly down back bends. Take the stages that work. Push back to child's pose. And then add threaded arms. So take the right arm under the left, but can be higher or lower here. We're looking for a torso rotation. Ear, shoulder, side of the face down to the ground. Keep the left arm out in front of you. And then untwine the right hand and do the same on the left side. Left hand under, ear, shoulder, side of the face down. Nice, unwind. Downward facing dog. Look to the front of the mat. Step the right foot forward into your low lunge. Warrior one, so 2 flat feet. Spin the back heel down. Turn the toes in towards the front corner of the mat. Lift your torso, lift the arms. So very similar to the high lunge, except we've planted the back leg. And we always want the lunges to lead from the back leg, so give it a lot of presence, a lot of push back. And then lower the hands back down. Through plank, you hold or add in the push-up. Do dog pose. Second side, step the left foot forward. Spin the back heel down, rise up, arms to the sky. Square the hips-ish, and do square the shoulders towards the front of the mat. Lower the hands back down, step back to plank. One more push up here if you're going for it. Down dog, and hold. Gaze towards the front of the mat, step or jump. Half lift, forward fold, chair pose. Stand up, palms together, center of the chest. Take a few rounds of breath. Release the hands, give everything a little bit of a shimmy shake. So just nice and easy, a little prep. We're gonna get into some hamstring stretch and length today. Place your right heel, I'll try to mirror us, right heel out in front, toes pulled up, bend both knees for a moment. Reach down so that your fingertips can touch the ground, and you can go fingertips to the ground or underneath some height, if you don't have any height nearby, and your hands don't touch, they can stay here on the waist. Okay. And then fully straighten the left leg. It should have been just a little bit of a difference from where you were. But so that we're spotlighting a little bit more stretch, center back of the hamstrings. And getting into the calf as well. Top of the muscle, that gastroc, the lower of the calf, the soleus, that really keeps us posture upright, keeps our posture upright, helps us to balance. Give everything a good little stretch here. Okay, and then you can come up and switch sides. Start with a bend in both knees and then just lean over. Instead of rounding the back, do have the chest lengthened, look a little forward. And just even making that change is going to change the way that I've set my pelvis and give me more stretch in the left hamstrings now. Maybe you find the same thing. Make the left leg as straight as it'll go. Always keeping in mind if you're one that hyperextends, that's not a straight leg, it's a backward bow. And so your straight will feel like a little bend. Good, steady breaths here today. All right, downward facing dog gives us a lot of this, but I just want to really highlight one leg at a time. Come up and shake it out. Head it back to the top of the mat. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back into our high lunge. Bend the back knee so that it's easier to take the pelvis rather than back, straight down. It's a little bit of a tuck feeling for me. And can you go a little deeper into the front thigh? Keep the knee over the second and third toes. Don't let it bow in or out, but straight ahead. And I want you to keep as much as you can with the legs and just torso forward, torso up, torso forward, torso up. One more time, torso forward, torso up, holding your strength. Take the left arm straight up to the sky and lean towards the right side. As you do this, the back knee can go all the way down, touch down to the mat. We'll get in nice opening through hip flexors, psoas. So getting a little bit specific about how and why we're stretching here. Come down, both hands to the mat, either side of the front foot. Lift the back knee. And now take a shorter stance. Hop the left foot in a little bit. But make sure your feet are still about 3 feet apart. And then again, send the back leg straight. Take the hands to the hips and make the front leg straight. Pyramid pose. With 2 straight legs, hands at the hips. If you put your thumbs into the crease of the hips, can you pull the right hip up and back? And the left hip should go a little bit forward and down. Then keep that and reach the arms out in front. So we're adding in more strength and stability for the core there. Things we've all done before. Just making sure that we're coming at it from a fresh, open mind. Come all the way upright in the torso here. Bend both knees, step forward. Shake it out. Let's try the second side. So left foot goes forward, right foot back. And always, I have a preconceived notion of how the second side is go just because I've already done the first side. Working from that beginner's mindset today, try your best to see this side as whole, unique, and different, because indeed it is. We're not perfectly symmetrical, so what happens on one side is going to be different than what happens on the other. Don't let the stories take over otherwise. Bend the back knee so that instead of the pelvis going back, it's going straight down. That should be a little more doable than if the leg is straight. All right. Oops, I had hands at the waist. Go ahead and take them there. And then we're doing the forward tilt of the torso down along the front thigh and up, down, and up. One thing I can tell right now in this movement, I'm a little less balanced on the left side. If I had thought that the story was that it had to be the exact same as the first side, I'd be more frustrated. But here I can just kind of take it in and be like, yeah, I've got to work in slightly different ways. Right arm up and then reach over to the side. Right knee can go all the way down to the ground here. And then come back to the center. Take both hands to the floor, either side of the front foot. As you lift the back knee up, slightly shorter stride. Step it in a little bit. Spin the right heel down. And I usually start with the back leg straight. Get the back leg straight. Press down through inner heel to outer heel. Big toe mound to pinky toe mound. Then hands high enough that you can straighten the front leg. Thumbs in the hip creases. And I notice, oh, my thumbs are more faced towards the side. I want to try to get them to face towards the front. Left hip around and back, right hip around and down. And then try taking the hands away, arms straight out in front of you. Come all the way upright. And step it forward. Shake out the legs. Lift both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And go to downward facing dog. In down dog, let's take our right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. And then take it a little bit higher. What do you have to do to take it a little bit higher? I have to open my hips and let a little more freedom in and be okay with that. Pull the right knee into the chest, hover forward and plank. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then shoot it back up, three-legged dog, up and back. Pull it in, knee to chest. Go a little faster, up and back. Knee to chest, up and back. One more time, knee to chest, up and back. Step the right foot all the way through. Come up to high lunge. Spin the back heel down so you're in warrior two. Gaze out over your right fingertips, the front hand. Again, move from the strength of the back leg. It's steady, push through. Get it all the way straight. If the back knee bends, we tend to send the pelvis forward, anterior tilt, and it's going to crunch up the low back. So nice strong quad to open up the space of the low back. And then change to your side angle. Elbow to knee, top arm palm down overhead. Can we move with some freedom here? Right arm up to the sky. And then back over to side angle. Right arm up to the sky, sun warrior, reverse warrior. Side angle. We're going quick here again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side angle. Both hands on either side of the front foot. Pick up your back heel. You rotate into that low lunge. Step back to plank. Down to the mat. Cobra. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up. A little more. Can you go a little bit more? Compensate in other pieces of the body to make it happen. And now slow at first. Pull the knee into the chest, hover and stay. Stay. You've got it. Stay. Up and back, three-legged dog. And now we go faster. Build it with your breath. Inhale, forward. Exhale, up and back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, up and back. Do it again. Inhale, forward. Exhale, up and back. Step it all the way through. Come up to your high lunge. Change to warrior two. Spin the back heel down, open up the arms. Gaze out over the left fingertips. Side angle pose, elbow to knee, top arm palm down overhead. And then change. Sun warrior, left arm up. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, sun warrior, left arm up. Exhale, side angle. One more time. Inhale, sun warrior. Exhale, side angle. Look down, low lunge. Step back to plank. We're slowing it down, down to the mat. Cobra. I was taught to always do cobra with the legs together. And then I just started doing legs apart some. It's like, hey, that feels pretty good. Change the story when it needs to be changed. Push back to child's pose. Change here to sit all the way down onto your bottom and stretch your legs out in front of you. You can orient on the mat however you wish. Okay, keep your left leg out and take your right foot in. So one-legged forward fold. I've got the leg in tree pose. If the right foot in tree pose isn't working, you could go like sole of the foot here. You could go like hero pose. I'm going to stay in tree pose, partly because the story of my knee for the last couple of weeks has been this pose no longer works. And I'm not putting that on myself, and it's feeling all right. So, hey, I'm going with it. Lean over. I really want the pose to be able to emphasize the hamstring stretch along the extended leg. And I'm using enough history and caution for myself in that knee with a bit of an injury to know just because it feels good in this moment, I can't drop everything that I know, right? So it's beginner's mind with some caution. Be good to yourself. Fold here over the extended leg to the degree that it feels good and that you think it's also going to help you tomorrow. Okay, build the torso back up and step the right foot over. Add in your twist, elbow to the outside of the thigh or the front of the shin. Think tall through the spine. Look back over the right shoulder. Come out of your twist, 2 straight legs, and then switch sides. So take your left foot in, and it picks either the tree pose, the sole of the foot, or sit back, one-legged hero. And it doesn't have to be the way that the first side did, because we want to fold over the extended leg and let the present moment be about more of the stretch in your right leg here. Come on back up. And set the left foot over the right. Add your twist. On an inhale, come out of the twist, extend both legs straight out in front of you. A seated forward fold, reach your arms up, and then take your angle more acute, more acute, more acute, until you let the arms drop and do more of a rounded a rainbow shape in the upper body. Build your torso back up. Okay, one more thing on the mat before we stand back up. This one, I want you to lie all the way down. Take the sole of your feet to the yoga mat. Pull your right knee into your chest. Everyone hold the right leg from the outside of the right shin. And try to straighten the leg. So I'm just literally just pushing the hand to the outer shin here. And then notice what happens if you extend the left leg. What body responses need to change? Adjust. Everybody go back, sole the left foot to the ground, rebend the right knee, and then take your right elbow to the inside of your leg, but hold the outside of your foot. Y'all can guess that we're gonna do this standing as well. So this is prepping where the body wants to go. With a bent bottom leg, can you straighten the right leg? Maybe, maybe not. How's it going here today? What if you take it out to the side? Okay, take the right leg back up towards the ceiling. Rebend the right knee. Now straighten the left leg so the heel stays planted against the mat. Try not to let your left heel come off of the floor, off of the yoga mat, and then make the right leg as straight as it'll go. It probably changes things. It does for me, so that's why I'm saying probably for you too. As much as we are unique, we're all a lot the same as well. Same body mechanics. So that's harder. But if I take the leg out to the side, at least for me, I can actually get the leg straight out to the side, but I can get it straight up to the sky. Yeah, so we're just taking in these clues and noticing. It helps me rewrite stories of poses a bit. Soles of the feet back down to the mat. Let's try it on the second side. So first, we need left knee into the chest and just take the left hand to the outside of the left shin. It's literally just pressing in and straighten the left leg. Does that work? Does it work with the right leg extended down, leg as straight as possible, heel on the ground? Like, oof, that's a ton of work, that full 90-90 line for me on this side. So I can help to measure how I want to feel as I progress. Okay, rebend the left knee. And now I'm gonna grab hold outside of the foot, elbow on the inside. And with a beginner's mind, stretch the left leg straighter. Take it out to the side. Take it back up to the sky. Extend the right leg, heel down. Okay, so get the heel down, rebend the left leg, and then keeping right leg heel down, breathe and straighten the left leg as much as it'll go. Maybe out to the side, open up the angle. And then all the way back in and lower the leg. Shake it all out, and let's stand up. Okay, so fun times. We get to do this standing hand to big toe pose with a balance You could choose to take this balance with your back against a wall, with a hand against a wall, or free form in the center of your mat. You pick. And then pull the right knee up and into your chest and take the hand around the shin, just like we did when we were lying down. Okay, with a standing leg bent, can you straighten the left leg? Can you keep it straight as you straighten the right leg? Sorry, your standing leg. I'm mirroring you. Sometimes I say rights and lefts wrong. I apologize. And then bring the foot back down to the floor. Pull the left knee up and into the chest. Hold around the outside of the shin. Bend the standing leg. So that might give you more leverage to straighten the lifted leg. Can it stay that way as you straighten the standing leg? And then back down. Go back to the first side. Right knee up and into the chest. This time, try to grab hold of the outside of the foot. And if you know you like the big toe hold, you can go for it. I think it's just a bit more challenging. And again, I'm bending the standing leg so that my pelvis and the leg have a little bit more room and space. It might be a little more unsteady, but it makes it easier for me to concentrate on extending the right leg. Can I do it with two legs straight? Can you? Whether the answer is yes or no, it doesn't matter. It's just going with a feeling of trying. Take the leg out to the side. Bring it all back in, 2 feet to the ground. Okay. Second, last side. Left knee up and in. Swing the elbow to the inside. Hold on to the outside of the foot, or first 2 fingers and thumb around the big toe. Okay, beginner's mind. So usually I don't emphasize the bend of the standing leg. I'm trying to make something different so that we'll take ourselves out of how we usually think about this pose. See if it helps you. Straighten the lifted leg. Straighten the standing leg. Go for it out to the side. As carefully as you can, come back out of the pose. Come stand at the top end of your yoga mat. Lift both arms up to the sky. Take Utkatasana, chair pose. Keep the right foot where it is. Tap your left foot back behind you. And do warrior 3. Lift the left leg up, tilt over. Same-ish thing. You start with a deep bend in the right leg, standing leg, and can you go straighter while keeping the rest relatively balanced? And then from there into half moon, drop the right hand down, left arm up, open the left hip. Two feet to the ground, standing forward fold. Downward facing dog. Side plank, right hand outer edge of the right foot. Stack the ankles or take the knees down. Bottom knee. You choose. Full plank pose. Do a push-up or don't. Downward facing dog. Look to your hands. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose. Tap the right toes back. Keep a deep bend on the left leg. Lift the right leg up. Warrior 3, like making a T shape. So then straighten, use the power. Push down through the left toes. Pull up on the quadricep. Bring the left fingertips down, which might mean rebending the knee to some degree. Open up for half moon. So it's like that turn and rotation of the hips that we did in the standing hand to foot pose right before. And then we're closing that off again for a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Step back to plank. And do a push-up, downward facing dog. Take your feet in down dog as wide as your yoga mat. I know, I'll get into that side plank. Sorry, needed a break. Left hand, outer edge of the left foot, stack the ankles, or be left knee down, right arm up to the sky. Solid work, yogis. Back through your full plank. Child's pose. Let's let ourselves sit back. Ooh, I was just like hit with this moment of like sometimes rewriting those stories and coming at it fresh is hard. It's always hard, but it just hit me extra hard there for a moment. Okay, down to the belly. Reach the arms back behind you. Turn the palms up to the sky. Inhale, lift everything that you can up away from the mat. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Lower it down and flip over onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. We're going to let ourselves soften. Low poses against the mat for the closing piece of practice here. So just hug the knees in. Last big ask for the hamstrings. Straighten your legs up towards the sky. Flex the feet. And we're going to do a little bit of a lift and curl over to hold on to the calves. And then try to slowly let the mid to low back come back down to the yoga mat. So if you had gotten really high on your shoulders, try to come back down. This supine forward fold makes us come at the pose from different angle, obviously. I'm constantly pushing my legs into my hands and pulling my hands back down towards the ground here. There's more force to get to the stretch in the way that I'm approaching this. Okay, and then rebend the knees. And take the knees over towards the right side in a spinal twist. Arms out to a T shape. Straighten the top leg. Extend into the right hand. And release the top leg. Bring both knees back into the center. Let them fall to the second direction. Just be there for a moment. And then straighten the top leg. Try to hold left hand into the right foot. And then bring everything back into the middle. Try happy baby. If you don't like happy baby, maybe bound angle, like butterfly against the mat, or just hug the knees into the chest. And if you are in knees to chest or happy baby, let's set the feet down and now do supine butterfly. Soles of the feet to the mat, and then turn the knees open so the soles of the feet touch and extend the arms out. And pull the knees back in. Cross the left leg over the right, kind of like eagle legs. You can pull the knees in and do one more spinal twist. So with the left leg kind of wrapped over the right, let the legs fall towards the right. And if you're like, no thanks, that's not how I want to feel, we are honoring that first and foremost. And you just unwrap and do the spinal twist again. One thing that's been so well placed in our move to practice at home and over live stream and recorded classes together is that there was already this strong movement that I fully supported in the yoga community of like, less touch, pull back, let folks do what they need to do. And now you've got, overwhelmingly full permission. And it's just like rewriting how then you want to practice. Come across, change. So I've got right leg over the left, and I'm going to send both knees over towards the left side. A lot of times when we're focusing like we did today in stretching hamstrings, I've noticed students, and I certainly do it in my own body, I'll compensate a bit in trying to get those legs straighter by different changes in pelvis and the trunk of the body. So that's why I'm trying to release and give ourselves some neutrality back to the center here with these supine twist at the end. If you did that compensation, hopefully coming back in here. Pull the knees back into center. Give yourself one more good squeeze. And then get as long as you can. Stretch the arms overhead. Big full stretch. Now is your time for finding a little softness, more softness, I should say, and stillness is what I meant. Now is your time to find stillness. Your biggest story might be that stillness is hard. That movement was hard. Let your story go and just be here. See what can happen. And how do you want to feel? If it's finding the stillness of mind means you need a little bit more rhythmic movement in the body, even in Shavasana, do that. You get to decide. Okay, take your time now. Stay in stillness for longer or come back to a seated position. When you find your seat, palms together, thumbs to the sternum. To honor the time spent in practice here on the yoga mat, the transition to practice off of the mat. I close each class in the sound of Om. You are always welcome to sing along, to listen, or to tune it out. Breathe out here. Breath in. Honor yourself, each other, this practice. Namaste.